Thanks very much, and thanks for putting this together. Thanks to all the sponsors, and thanks for bringing two very illustrious people. We have Puneet on far left from the Times of India, and we have Priya from Google. They, in a way, are at the leading edge of performance marketing in this country. And the first question that I'd like to open to them is, how have you seen the world of performance marketing change? Both of you, and we'd start with Priya, because she has that sort of vantage point view on how performance marketing sort of taken over, and how India, where we used to have a brand campaign and then have a performance campaign, and then at the two extremes we started hybridizing everything until performance marketing now has a fully owned vertical of its own. So over to you, Priya.
Yeah. First of all, thank you. I think it's great to be here, and good morning, all of you. I think it's a great question, Vivek, to start off with, and I would say the question is, how has performance marketing changed? I would say it's changing at a pace faster than what we all can imagine. And it's not just in years or months now, it's like weeks and days we are seeing changes coming in. But broadly, if I were to talk about trends, I think one thing is clear, that we have much more people online now, and spurred by the cheap data prices, cheap smartphone prices. At the last count, we are talking about 900 million Indians online. So of course, when they're online, they are displaying different behaviors, and performance marketing has to be able to catch all of that. And when more and more Indians are online, a large part of that is coming from tier 2, tier 3 cities. A lot of Gen Z is online, and they are natives, right? They're brought up in the digital online world. So these cohorts that are emerging, which is tier 2, tier 3, Gen Zs, etc., they are bringing their own behaviors on internet. And that is very different from the quintessential internet user that we used to have earlier. So the way they are accessing internet could be entirely different. Video could be their point of entry versus a search engine, for example. Or they believe a lot more in trusted influencers for their business decisions versus anyone else. So I think there is a whole host of new people, new cohorts that are coming, and they're accessing internet in ways in which we had not imagined before, and hence performance. And if we are expecting business outcomes in terms of performance from them, we have to, as digital marketeers, act very differently. And lastly, even the Indians who are online, when they're coming from tier 2, tier 3, for example, they are expecting internet experiences that are in their regional languages. They are expecting more video voice-based experiences. They are expecting less friction. And hence, we have to build for all of that. And like you rightly said, there is no funnel anymore. We say the funnel is dead, right? In fact, we have, at Google, we talk about the 4S. So we talk about consumers are searching, scrolling, streaming, and shopping at the same time. And when you are in a world like that, where you do not know what the consumer is going to do, it will not follow the traditional funnel of awareness, consideration, and action. You have to literally be ready to meet the consumer where they are, in the mindset that they are in, and on the platform they are in. So that makes it extremely difficult. So I would say personalization, real time are not concepts of future anymore. They are here right now, and we are all we need to be sort of on that journey together.
And any global learnings? Is India similar in a way? Is India very different?
Yeah. I'll tell you. See, in terms of how the consumer behavior is, it is pretty similar globally, but I would say a few areas which make India leapfrog, like mobile. We never had to go through the desktop to mobile revolution. We are mobile first. So in everything that we do, we have to ensure that the experiences are mobile first, and we have to build for mobile, not just in creative, in the way we disseminate, in the way we build pipelines, etc., so that there's no friction. The other thing which is unique to India and APAC, I would say, is apps. Right? We do not, as Indians, we are so used to apps. At any given point in time, if I ask you how many apps do you have and how many apps do you use, I think the largest chunk comes from India and APAC. So again, we have the added complexity of creating for the web and app ecosystem together. And like I said, 22 official Indian languages. And each consumer who's online expects to see digital experiences in his or her native language. So I think some of these are unique to India, and they make the Indian ecosystem far more complex to navigate for performance marketers.
Wonderful. So I think most of us remember how, the desktop age sort of whisked past us and we leapfrogged. So this question actually taking forward from what Priya is saying, that we've sort of leapfrogged into a mobile-first world. And I mean, before we knew it, we have a situation and environment where advertisers are asking for deeper outcomes. And they're asking for not the regular standard KPIs we thought we were going to be starting our businesses with. So, Puneet, you were at the intersection of content that has seen this change and advertising that's seen this change. How have you seen the whole world of performance marketing changing and evolving?
So interestingly, I can share insights from both being a publisher as well as being an advertiser, right? So one very interesting thing that I would start with, right? The big change is that we used to end with click, and now we are starting the day with click, right? So the process, we are not measuring clicks anymore, but we are measuring the return on ad spends. That's the most important thing. But a slightly different view from what Priya said, we are not forgetting the funnel, right? So I have seen that rather than forgetting the funnel, now there is technology and AI being used at every step of the funnel to optimize it, right? So I am seeing, at least in our organization, specialized roles to say, how do you use AI for creative CTR optimization? Because AI allows you to personalize at mass scale, right? So if I'm doing a yoga campaign, which is a product that we have, right, they are going to be different creatives targeted to every style. And some of them are updated very, very frequently. Some of them happen in real time. So start from click, then go to the landing page, for example. How do you optimize the landing page, which has a 65-70% click to visit ratio, right? How do you use tech to figure out that whatever the user are coming to you from your campaign, they convert on the landing page? But most importantly, next stage, right? How do you use automated AI engines and contact center software to convert them into a call and discussion real time? That's the next stage which is happening. And AI is the most useful as a use case for contact center because that tech has been proven time and again. The data has been available in immense numbers for training. So if you call today, for example, a Maruti Maruti dealer, you would be greeted by an AI dialer, right? A lot of real estate advertisers in the country today are using AI who would talk to you and try to convince you to buy the property. So that's the next step of what is happening. Overall, I think it's moving to becoming a more trust-centered ecosystem. I would say that trust is the second most important, is as important a currency as the ad dollars are, right? So ROS and trust, that's the two biggest things that are happening as per me in the ecosystem with AI assisting each one of them, right?
Yeah. No, that's a terrific point of view. And actually, it's very good to have diametrically opposite views on the same thing. And both of them making a lot of sense. That's the beauty, I think, of Click to bring you together. Now, both of you help marketers become smarter. And Priya, my question on marketers becoming smarter for the next 200, 300 million consumers we are going to look at. How does Google see it? How do you see these consumers interacting with ads? What are they selecting? Is there any difference in the nuances, in the language? Are you going more vernacular? How do you help marketers becoming smarter to reach out to these new consumers?
Yeah. No, great question. And like I said earlier as well, I feel the new consumers who are coming from tier 2, tier 3 cities. At least my advice to marketeers and what we see our mature advertisers also do is build for them as they are and not adapt your current strategies to them. Because like I said, they are accessing internet in unique ways. They want more immersive video experiences rather than text-based experiences. They are more interested in taking advice and taking action from trusted sources and experts rather than a faceless, nameless entity. They are more interested in, of course, in experiences in their own languages. And some of the innovations that are happening on the cutting edge of this is also to aid these. So for example, if you see Google search, and I'm sure all of you search on a daily basis, the experiences have become far more instinctive. Now, I don't know if you remember that we used to very carefully think about keywords and what keywords to type in a search box. That experience is dead, right? Today we are searching with lens. Today we are searching with voice. Today we are searching videos. Today we are doing circle to search. I don't know how many of you do circle to search, but it's the most instinctive way of searching. So I would say my biggest advice would be that build uniquely for these people because they're different. Their expectation from the internet is different, and the kind of the pathways that they are demanding are very, very different. So treat them as unique individuals, and how do you create differently for them would be the biggest one.
I just expand to what Priya said, right? Let's see how they are different, right? First of all, it is very likely that in tier 3 households, devices are being shared. So the standard audience targeting that we have learned to live with may not be valid. Second, knowledge is being shared, which means that the person who is scrolling may not even be literate to fill the form, but may have heard something on audio and wants to engage with the creative or the ad or the brand, right? The third is payment instruments may not be readily available. So if I see an ad, I want to quickly pay and purchase a product, that may not be possible in a tier 3 household, right? So just adding to the fact what Priya said, we have to rethink and re-evangelize how we'll reach out to these customers from a performance first manner, but also keep an angle of the brand recall, because they may not be instant transactors, unlike the tier 1 audiences. Also with them, context will become as important as targeting, because context is their today's need. And targeting is my yesterday's experiences that the system has, audience targeting. And with devices being shared, today's need of the reader becomes more important than the learning of the device ID that you have.
So Puneet, adding to what you're saying, I think I'd like to dig a little deeper, because you got one strength, which is you're sitting on content and therefore gives you the opportunity of contextual targeting. The other one you spoke about is trust. That it's also for these new consumers, trust is an important factor. Now, is Times sort of doubling down on verified, fact-checked news, and how are you bringing this trust factor alive when the consumer is making their choices?
So I believe trust is very, very important because trust defines the ecosystem in which you operate. Trust begets trust, right? If I create trust and I tell my customers that I'm not trying to find their name, but trying to ask their name from them, right? That's the most important thing. When I create that environment, I have seen that contextual and high trust environments are able to deliver equivalent yields of audience targeting, correct?
Yeah.
Second is, how do I then build upon this data that I have now, permission-based data that I have from my users, is to use technology to create the right segments. And we are able to today do that in our DMP, also use lookalike modeling to then say, how do we extend the reach of these campaigns? So practically, the trust has worked very well for us, specifically in high trust segments like an NBFC or a BFSI, for example, right? Where you have to talk about your money, your health, your kids' education. A trusted environment lends itself beautifully for greater outcomes.
Wow. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, take a minute, please. I think a lot of you are on your phones, and I want to check how many of you are watching Reels. Right now, while you're sitting here, I see a lot of you looking down into your phones, and how many of you are on Reels? Because, both of them are talking about engagement, and I know for sure, I myself am deeply engaged with this short form video format. I think it's taken the world by storm, and every time your attention's going here and there, and that's why I think it's called the attention economy, because you got that reel there. So my question to Priya is, how do I convert this video into business for me? Because if I'm a marketer, I have a business KPI, and if I've got this video as my killer app or my bullet to fire, how do I use this into business? And to Puneet, how are you seeing this sort of content rising and taking away from the long form we're used to, and are we adapting, and is it really working so much better for the new consumer? Priya first.
Yeah. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I think short form video has been a revolution, right? In the last couple of years, we have seen that on YouTube Shorts in a very big way. And A couple of things I'll say. At least all the insights that we have clearly say that there is no short form user and or a long form user. It's a short form user and a long form user. And the difference is in the state of mind that you are in when you're scrolling versus when you're streaming. And we do that, right? All of us, we will not say that we only are on short form or are only on long form. So I think one thing that is important for short form video to lead to business results is to understand that nuance, which is when a viewer is scrolling, what mindset are they in, and are you creating for that mindset? So it's important to understand that and create the right creative hook there. So I think creative plays a huge role in what you're able to achieve in terms of business outcomes. In the same vein, you will see a lot of influencer-led short form video, influencer-led creatives you will see on YouTube Shorts, and that is something that has worked very well for business results as well. In Google, we also have a way of monetizing it through partnership ads, so there is a clear way of how do you drive business results through short form video. I would also say that by nature, some of this is extremely shoppable. So, for example, let's say if I'm watching a Get Ready With Me video from a trusted influencer, she's talking about, let's say, a particular makeup product, and I really like it. Imagine a scenario where I'm just circling that to search, and without leaving the short form video platform, I'm able to get product listings from retailers and are able to browse and buy in the same window. So that is possible today. So some of this is naturally far more shoppable. Again, an interesting fact I would like to say is that a lot of short form video consumption for us on YouTube Shorts is happening actually on large format, which is connected TV. A lot of our ad formats on connected TV are naturally shoppable. You have QR codes available. Marketers have used it beautifully. So some of it is naturally lending itself to more shopping formats. Lastly, I would say that AI helps. Now, all these automated campaign formats that we have, like in Google, we have app campaigns, we have performance max campaigns, we have demand gen campaigns. They naturally utilize the goodness of this surface without you having to do much as marketeers, and are able to drive business outcomes as part of the AI machinery. So I think a couple of these few things I would say are the strategies.
So Puneet, why don't you take up the AI question? I think you've been working a lot on first-party data. You spoke about it. You spoke about how that's helping target. How are you moving mid-funnel into conversions, and how are you looking at this sort of shrunk purchase cycle? So how are you using AI? What's your sort of future playbook from the Times of India point of view? First-party data and AI and better targeting, and you moving into performance. So all of that in your sort of crystal gaze into the future, how are you putting it together?
Sure. Thanks. It's a great question. The way we are working today is to say how can we use AI in every step of the organization, right? So knowing who our users are, can I create content for them at scale, at a pace that they would prefer to be, in a format and language that they would like, right? So, for example, can I convert every bit of content that I have, whether in English or in Hindi, to be available in all 8 languages that I operate in, to be available in all formats that I operate in, whether it's text, video, audio, web stories, to be available in both on platform and on distribution, right? That's the first bit. Then we are using AI to personalize content at scale now that content is produced. And we have seen from 50 to 200% lift in CTRs and engagement when we have done that. So now the content is personalized on the news feed, but also the push notifications that we are sending out, for example, right? So across both those two ecosystems, we are seeing significant lift in engagement and time spent because of that. The third angle is how do we use it in EdTech? So practically for both what we are working on, the DMP that we have, plus the lookalike audiences that we create. Third, we are using AI to forecast a lot of things. So for example, news as a use case, there is very little value I can give by asking demographic information from a user. Unlike a social media platform where I register and share my information, right?
So how do you...
so we are using AI, for example, for gender forecasting.
Privacy guardrails, how do you then respect the privacy guardrails? If you got this kind of data, you're channeling it and...
Because everything is first party, everything is collected, right? And it's not, and because we are also, when the third party cookies thing started to happen, then we said, okay, let's go the right way, let's do the CDR, clean data rooms, right? So we have those partnerships as well. But I will also add that for our creatives and as well as for our advisors, we also have now a dynamic creative optimization service using AI. So with static creatives, we are able to animate those creatives to give higher CTR.
Fantastic.
So practically using AI across this value chain to help us and to help our partners.
Great. So one final question to Priya before we wrap up. I know we've run out of time. So Priya, a lot of this is actually on your desk. So there is measurement for the future. There is this whole future playbook thing. What is happening there? How are you seeing the future? What tools are you going to bring in to make all of us sort of dominate the click economy?
Yeah, firstly, I would say, and I think, Puneet, you said it, moved away from the click to, so an interesting wordplay that we do. We say we've moved from click and convert to actually talking about connections and communities. So one is that's a big change I'm seeing in the performance marketing world. It's not just about clicks, it's about how valuable the clicks are. Not here and now value, but lifetime value. Not just performance, but long-term branding and what's it doing to the equity. So that's one big change that we are seeing. But having said that, I always say the future is here. Now we are talking about days and very soon in minutes and seconds. So things are changing very, very fast. I would say the personalization and real-time optimization would become dramatically more accurate and will become dramatically more unique to an individual. So for example, Vivek, the internet you see and your source, your truth will be very different from mine. And you're already seeing that, but we are still talking about cohorts. I think it will very soon become an individual.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and fantastic insights from both of you. Thank you very, very much for adding so much value to the conversation and making our sort of present so clear and giving us an insight into the future. Thank you very much. Thank you, IMAI.
Thank you.